Hey guys, it's me, my face, and some fresh hair. Per usual, today's happy dance is brought to us by coffee. 'Cause it's how I do. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and this is a channel about cross-stitch and any other damn thing I think of. If you're a returning visitor, welcome back. Let's just take a minute. The hair has the things happening. I have the contacts in because I had the hair done today. I know, it's like a whole different person sitting here. Perhaps you prefer her. I would understand if you did. I am actually recording early this week. This is Saturday night, full disclosure. Tomorrow I will be at my sister's for Easter. We were raised Albanian Orthodox, and tomorrow is our Easter, and we're gonna go and pretend that Weight Watcher points just who dis? I'm sorry, I will be obsessively poofing this because the contacts don't let me see the viewfinder very well. They just don't. It's dark. I think I can fix that. I'm not going to right now. But my hair looks like it's doing strange things. It's probably, nobody cares. Because this is a channel about cross-stitch. Let's jump in. I want to say the past few months, I have been like a crazy person with, starting new projects constantly. I think that's come to an end. I think we reached the end of that. This was not a very prolific 2 weeks, but it wasn't bad. The first thing I worked on is Heaven and Nature Sing. This is by Barrick. And by the first thing I worked on, I mean the last thing I worked on, because I just did this last night. But I managed to finish this neck area, and I did a tree, and I started another tree. So it is coming along. I don't think I quite realized how many trees this thing has on it. There's a lot of trees. There's also this, like a whole pomegranate situation that's going to go on over there. I like Q-snaps, and I like that I am no longer buying like a gargantuan piece of fabric to fit a small project on, because I like to be able to have like the whole thing in the Q-snap at the same time. But I'm realizing that when I go to move this, I don't have a whole lot of zhuzh room. So working on the stuff that's going to be like kind of up in this corner could be a challenge to me. I know I have seen people, specifically I think Kindred Stitcher, just stitching extra fabric on the edges of her fabric. That is the thing I can do. I have a sewing machine on my sewing table over there. Remember when you guys were going to make me do something with my sewing table? Yeah, you never did. So I blame you. It's a problem I can get around, I'm pretty sure. The next project I have to show you, I haven't shown you in a long time. This is Templar Prophecy. This is from Long Dog Samplers. And I moved the Q-snap. Guys, this took a lot for me to move the Q-snap. I moved the Q-snap. So I filled in some more of the, like the knot work on the side here. And I finished off this little back and forth area. And I gotta tell you, it was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to be working on a new part of it. When I had sat down, I really had the intention that I was going to finish off this kind of curved area where the big old moon comes down. Clearly, I did not do that. But it being Saturday night, there's no reason I can't sit down with this tonight and have a nice chunk done for the next time I sit down to work on it, which will actually come up later in the video. The next thing I have to show you is actually a restart. I got nervous working on, this is Quartet from Barbara Anna. And I got nervous with the piece of fabric that I had. Now, I have measured it like 3 times, and 3 times, well, twice it seemed to fit. And the last time I did it, I said, wait, maybe it's really 14 count. It wasn't going to fit. It wasn't going to fit. So I started it over, and I've at least gotten further than I had been before. Look how cute he is. Look at him. Oh my Lord. I'm so happy with him now. I measured this as if it were a 16 count. It is definitely either 18 or 20. So it will fit no matter what. But look at him with his little stripedy hat. I think I made a good decision just doing the hat in the variegated rather than striping a variegated with a solid. And it looks really cute in the model, but I think I probably would have lost my mind trying to remember what leg of whatever I was on. Either way, he's super cute. So I will be happy to have this put away because it has caused me some drama. I probably will not work on this. Well, I might work on it this week, but again, I have plans, so we will see the next time I pick this up. The next thing I have is a finish. This is Autumn Garden from SubRosa Design, and it's done. And I really like it. I am glad that I put my time into it. It is pretty clearly uneven. The picture in the magazine is somewhat wider looking than this, but I think it came out fine. I don't think it did too much to the actual pattern. I did find Spring Garden, and I have the threads pulled, but I don't think I pulled the fabric yet. That one I think I'm going to have to find either something that I haven't dyed and shrunk in one direction or another, or I'm just gonna have to really carefully measure whatever I use, because that one is definitely supposed to be square, and it'll look really weird if I do it on something that's totally out of whack. I did a Google search for winter garden and summer garden. I didn't find anything. But if I have autumn and I have spring, I have to assume there was a winter in between there. So I have to look for that. And I can assume that possibly summer is coming in the upcoming summer issue. We'll see about that. Does anybody think sometimes half the fun is figuring out where they're going to put their initials and the date? Because, newsflash, I actually remembered to put my initials and the date on it. Who'd have thought? And the last project I have to show you is also a finish. This is the Cat in the Moon from Brenda Gervais. And he's all done. He has not yet put on his poof. I'm not 100% that I'm going to put him on a poof. But he's done. And I believe he looks just as concerned as the model did. He is not enjoying that hat at all. But yeah, again, I remembered to put my initials on. Who am I? I don't know. Those straight stitches. Guys, I know that a lot of times, especially with straight stitches like this, the pattern is a suggestion. I'm not good with that. So I did these like 4 times, just trying to get them to, I think they're fine. They're even. They're fine. I think the only real change I made is like these little doodads were all supposed to be like this ecru color that's in his hat, and they were just going to blend. So I made them, I think it's Weeks. Is it Weeks? It might be Classic Colorworks curry. And they came out so you could see them, which is important. I don't know if you can hear the bass, but my neighbors are having a party, which is literally 3 guys in the driveway with the radio on in his truck. I don't mind the music, but all I can hear is that bass line. Those are all the projects that I worked on in 2 weeks. it was a tough 2 weeks. It wasn't a good 2 weeks. So the fact that I did that many, I'm pretty impressed. So as we all know, Maynia is coming up. And if you're not familiar with Maynia, it started like the earth cooled, the dinosaurs came, and then the Facebook group Maynia happened. It has since closed down. And I believe it started with people like every other day in May starting something new. And then some people said, hold my beer, I'm going to start something every single day. And then other people were like, 200 starts in a month. And some people were like, no, I'm going to be monogamous through the whole month. Maynia became, as its namesake, a little chaotic. But I still like the idea of taking May and doing something structured, let's call it. So what I have decided to do this year is somewhat monogamous Maynia. It's nothing like that. For each week in May, including the final week, which is not a full May week, but it's cross-stitching, it's fine. I am going to work exclusively on one very large project to try to make a dent in it. So my plan, because I have notes, my plan, for the 1st through the 7th, I'm going to work on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. The 8th to the 14th, I'm going to work on Templar Prophecy. The 15th to the 21st, CD Pumpkin Cottage. The 22nd to the 28th, Death by Cross Stitch. And the 29th through June 4th, Moonhair. People just got excited when they heard Moonhair. So I will not be going back to Templars until 5/8. But when I do, I'll be spending the whole week only working on that. Now, I say only working on that. That can get boring. So if I want to work on something different, I have to do a new start. And I have like 5 things already kitted up that I could start. And I could probably do 10 more. Really? 10 more? Yeah, I could probably kit that up. Because guys, Floss Monster, there's nothing stopping me here. So I think that will be my Maynia. We'll be working on my large projects per week. And then if I need to work on something that isn't one of those, it has to be a new start. So that will bring some new things into the rotation. How do we feel about this? Do we think that sounds like fun? I think it sounds like fun sitting here talking about it. I have no idea what it's going to be like when I'm actually doing it. We'll find out. I reserve the right to exclaim, "You're an idiot," and stop doing it. But I hope I don't. Last week we talked about a giveaway. It is the Prairie Schooler Who's There. There were, I want to say, like 15 or so entries, and you should be seeing me picking the winner over here. The winner ended up being Brianna Nightingale. Best name ever. Right here in the good old US of A. So I will drop this into the mail, and I'm going to tuck as many little freebie things as I can into that envelope and still keep it under a stamp, or keep it at a stamp, and get this off in the mail to you. Did I bring over the next one to give away? No. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I hesitate to call it a plan. I have a whim to do a massive giveaway. When I say massive, I'm going to say like 10 or 20 items at a time, but individually. So what I am trying to do is to create my online form that would let you go into the form, put in your information, and then literally tick off the items that you want to be, entered for. And then I just pull up that group in my spreadsheet, do the drawing, tick you off as the winner, and move to the next one. And you could win multiples. Like if you asked for 10 of them, you could win a bunch. Or maybe we'll say you can win up to 3 or something like that. I don't know. I don't have the details ironed out. But I think that is a good way for me to get rid of some things that I just know I'm not going to stitch, that need to go to a good home. Because they shouldn't just be languishing in my magazine box in the closet. And some of them are just like, I happen to have this one out because Easter. Some of them are just pages from magazines. And if I had a stitching group, even if I were involved with Stitch New England has like stitching nights and things. If I were involved in a group like that, I would probably bring them and just be like, pick through them, have fun. But I don't really have that yet. So rather than have these things just hang around, I thought it'd be good to just do one big chunk of giveaway. And, so many of these can just be folded, so I don't have to worry about going to the post office for most of them. And, maybe just make some space. People have been so generous with me, and I want to be able to get these items that I'm not going to be able to use right off the bat, out into people's hands. More than a few people when they send me things, write in their notes that, they're gifting these things, but they don't want them to become a burden. And they're not a burden, but they're certainly not benefiting anybody sitting in my closet. So I think it's time to get them out and about. So maybe look for that coming May? End of May? Maybe? I don't know. No promises. So that's about all I have for the stitching. Like I said, this has been kind of a terrible couple of weeks. It's really kind of been a terrible 4 or 6 weeks. I'm considering medication again. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's what I need, but I think I need to talk to somebody who knows better than I do, so I want to look into that, maybe trying something different than the Prozac that I was on before. I'm functioning, but I'm sleeping, but not well. I have lost now 22 pounds on Weight Watchers, so that is good. And it's good that I'm losing weight because I'm trying and not just because I decided that eating potatoes for 5 weeks was a good idea. That can't be good for you. So yeah, it's been tough, and there's a lot of things coming up that I'm trying to be ready for, and it gets kind of overwhelming. I have right now 4 emails in my email box, and I know 2 of them I think are from Lisa. I know they're there. And I know these are emails I want to read. I know that these are positive, friendly emails that are just chatting and these are not stressful emails, but I can't read them. I can't read them. In fact, if I could remember off the top of my head, there is somebody who has sent me an email and literally the title is My First Floss Tube. This person has made a floss tube. I want to go watch it, but I haven't been able to read the email yet. I will get there. I will get in there. I just need a point in time where I'm not thinking about 75 other things that are just draining all my energy away. I've never really liked the spoon analogy just because it just doesn't resonate with me that I have X number of spoons. To me, it's always just been more analogous of gas in the tank. I just don't have that much gas in the tank anymore. And I have to kind of portion that out so that I can, run an errand for my father when he needs me to, or get through a full day of work. Mid-May, I think we start going back into the office 2 days a week. I'm not going to lie, that is the most stressful thing I can think of at the moment that I should have to do, but I don't really have a choice. So I got to find a way to do it. I'm also kind of starting to suffer from I don't know, what feels like a very first world kind of problem is the I don't know what to care about first feeling. There are atrocities and war crimes going on in the Ukraine. And at the same time, there are, atrocities going on in my own country. And there are rights being taken away left and right. And there is rampant and systemic racism everywhere. And I don't know what to care about first or most or in what order and then can you see me getting, riled up? Because my brain is in all of these places. So I would love that my stitching becomes a place that I can kind of hide from those things for a while. Because I do have the privilege to hide from those kind of things for a while. But it's not. I just haven't been able to, so I sleep. If anyone knows of a circus that's hiring. I'm not really good at anything, and I'm afraid of clowns, but I'll try. And they can pay me in popcorn. Now I want to go to the movies just to have popcorn. I don't think that's the worst reason to go to the movies. I think that is it for me this week. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes. And yeah, sure, even your dislikes. Go ahead. But most of all, thank you so much for your comments. I think I am caught up. Maybe. I read every single one of them, and I do appreciate them. And I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of my community. Bye, guys.